Everybody, let's learn some Torah. It's Parshat YITRO, and it's an extraordinary moment in our history. It's where we stand at the mountain, and Moshe, our leader, the one we wouldn't listen to and the one that we're sort of listening to now, and we'll see how long that lasts, goes up the mountain, and he receives the word of God. Now, the mountain itself is described as shaking, as a fiery kiln, actually says the Torah. It's not a gentle experience. Moshe ascends and we are all afraid, so much so that the Midrash suggests that we are scared. So scared that one Midrash even suggests that we all die of fear. And then we are resurrected and say, we can't handle this. Moshe, you go. And Moshe penetrates through thick cloud in the midst of smoke and lightning and fire, the kol shofar and the sound of a shofar, and we stayed at the bottom of the mountain. I want to reflect on an ongoing process. I just published, as I shared with you yesterday, the first ever artificial intelligence generated Torah commentary on the book of Genesis. And I'm continuing the work now to finish a commentary on the rest of Torah in the voices, at least according to AI, of figures of the past. And the rules are they need to have been, they can't be alive anymore. I don't want to appropriate a living voice. And they can't have demonstrated anti-Semitism or hate of any kind during their lifetimes. There are lots of phenomenal people to channel, and some of the results have been extraordinary. Some of them have been mediocre because one reason or another, maybe there's not enough written record of who they were. But what I'm finding is that the essential element of all of this is the recognition that it's not truly them, which means I can differentiate between the voice that I would have read or could have really expected to hear from them and what's being generated. There's something missing. I'm imagining as AI becomes more adept, it'll be harder to differentiate. But think about this in the context of YITRO. Moses ascends up the mountain and we can't take the experience. So we say, Moshe, you go and bring back the word of God. And so Moshe does return with the tablets. Now, we'll talk about what happens later. But in that moment where Moshe is the translator to the divine, bringing the voice that we can't discern forward, there's an element of trust that we demonstrate that God pours into Moshe and Moshe brings forward. Does it sound like the voice of God? Well, the voice of God, according to the text, is thunder. How do we know that what Moshe brings is actually the word of God? Trust, intuition, experience, testimony. In our days, we are working, thank God, as UJA and as people in the world to maintain the dignity of survivors of the Shoah. They bring living testimony because of what they've been through. Please God, it shouldn't happen soon. But within my children's lifetimes, to be sure, there will come a day where there are no living witnesses, no survivors left. We have been honored beyond words to bear the testimony. It is a burden, it is an honor, it is a privilege to be present with those who bring testimony. And Simone, sending you strength and love and your mother peace. When we are the ones who carry on the stories that we have witnessed, will we be trusted as authentic conveyors of the message? AI is not the same as bearing human testimony, but isn't it interesting to think about the difference? I can tell you what I've seen and what I've been through. Here we are, in this new moment of technology, where the past perhaps is still speaking, not perfectly, not even authentically in the way that we would hope for, but there's a way of bringing past voices into the present, maybe channeling the collective wisdom that any one person brought through the prism of this technology, which is a weird kind of witnessing, I guess, trying to channel forward everything that we can because the past sounds like thunder. God is indecipherable. It's a totality of being. It's beyond being. God is beyond any language. What does it mean for Moshe to say, these are the words of the living God? It's to try. As Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel famously once said, as an account of revelation, the Torah itself is a work of midrash, which means we have to trust that there's a way to continue the voices of the past through us. And if we can utilize the tools, we might even allow those voices to come back to life one way or another. Yes, it is strange. It is fascinating. It might even be dangerous, but it's certainly interesting. So I encourage you, explore and bear testimony for real. Find those in our lives, especially our elders, who have wisdom to teach. And let's do our best to be authentic channels for the thunder of their souls. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous mitzvah to bear witness and to speak and to try to authentically channel the wisdom that we've gained. That's all Moshe was trying to do for the sake of the people, for the sake of the world. What a gift it is to try to do that ourselves. All right, friends, let's have a good day. Sing our way into it. Bless you, friends. See you tomorrow.